Greetings, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 63 of Project Zomboid, which originally aired live on Twitch. I shouldn't have left that running, though. So the lug wrench and jack just helps me do some, and tire pump helps me do quick maintenance on any vehicles that might be usable but need a tire swap or something like that. That's why I always keep that on me. And this this fossil trunk is huge. So looking at the time, it's almost 4 p.m. I'm probably not going to fully prep all the burn stuff I need to do today, given the amount of time I have left. But I'll try to get as much of it done as I can. This is a new vehicle. This is not the original fossil oil truck, which is why it's alive. The last one flipped and got completely and utterly destroyed. I murdered it. So the 4 log stacks are a lot of fuel, as we established. And then I'm actually going to sit and read because I'm tired. And I'm going to poll you all. Are you all okay with a minimum outpost of just cars at the mall? So, here. You can veto me. If you want me to actually build something bigger, something grander, something construction, stairs, walls, etc., you can vote no. If you're okay with just me using a few vehicles to keep myself protected, you can vote yes. Ultimately, I'll put it up to you. I know it's not exactly fair, as I advocated for a minimal prep, but you can still vote how you want. Slow and steady is absolutely depun. It's absolutely the way to go. You can take on remarkable amounts of zombies, given endurance and weapon condition, if you just take a deep breath and do a few at a time. Don't get overwhelmed. You know, keep your head on a swivel. But that's obviously easier said than done. Granted. Alright, getting all these 4 log stacks. Yeah, the trees do grow really, really fast. Nothing like being tired and waiting for a smoke. How do I stay neutral, or how do you guys stay neutral if I'm trying to sway the vote? You could just vote against me. I'm totally okay with that. And yeah, I'm drinking coffee. Of course. I should reach out to, like, coffee companies and be like, sponsor me! I drink so much coffee! How do I like my coffee? With a little bit of half and half. Despite the fact that that's not exactly healthy. But at least I don't put sugar in it, I suppose. Actually, the long story short is that's not necessarily how I like my coffee. That's kind of how I have to drink my coffee. As really bitter things, I'm like allergic. It's complicated. But I'm like allergic to bitter and sour things. But not a histamine reaction. Again, it's complicated and you don't want me go into those details because they're boring. The spiffing Brit keeps turning down coffee for some reason. He goes through a lot of coffee. That man is another avid coffee drinker, so. You want me to go into detail? All right, so it looks like you're okay with me doing a minimal car. Well, the long and short of it is I have a medical condition, which is not serious at all, called eosinosyphilic esophagitis, which, so normally when you have an allergic reaction, it is histamines, which is a type of white blood cell, and the histamines will flood your esophagus or your airways and cause anaphylaxis. What my allergy is, so there's different types of white blood cells. Histamine's one of them. Another one of them is called eosinos, E-O-S-I-N-O. And I have a reaction where if I have things that are really bitter or really sour, I'll have a similar sort of anaphylactic response, but not with histamines, with a different type of white blood cell called eosinos. So I just have to be careful, you know, what I drink and what I eat, because there isn't, unlike people with histamine reactions, there's not a lot of easy ways to get rid of an eosino reaction, and it doesn't, it's not life-threatening. Like, it could kill me in the long run if I keep triggering it, because too many eosino reactions can cause esophageal cancer and stomach cancer. What are the symptoms I get? It sort of feels like I swallow. You know the feeling of like swallowing a pill and it gets stuck? Now imagine if that pill was like burning hot, like a hot coal. That's what it feels like. It feels like I swallowed hot coals and it's just like stuck in my throat. And then if it's really, really, really bad, I'll start wheezing but I generally don't let it get that far. Like, I have to be ignoring my health, you know, considerably for me to get to the point where I'm like wheezing and it being that bad. But as a result, there's a lot of foods that I just don't eat, because they would be triggers. So, and there's also times of day. What's funny is there's not a lot of medical information because it is a pretty rare condition, and most doctors won't even know about it. What's the deal with all the books? You can burn books as a fuel source, and these are all books that I've read in the past, so I don't need to keep them. As you can see, I've read them all. Well, I didn't read Advanced Fishing, but it's a spare book that I don't need. Is it the same towards spice? No, not really. Spicy things aren't triggers for me, and they can be triggers for other people with eosinosyphilic esophagitis, but not for me. Things that are particularly bitter. So like a really tart lemonade, a really bitter IPA, those are a lot more of a guaranteed trigger for me than spicy food. I can have Carolina Reaper peppers and I'd be fine. But for really dark chocolate, because of how bitter it is another trigger. But I can do maybe like 80% dark chocolate, but it also depends, because if I had, generally speaking, you don't eat like fistfuls of black chocolate. So if I had super dark chocolate with milk or something, it wouldn't be an issue. It's just like I can't do just the something super sour or bitter alone. I have to like wash it down. No one is fine after eating Carolina Reapers. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. The feeling I'd have after eating Carolina Reapers would be pale in comparison to a really bad eosino reaction. Really bad eosino reactions are like, almost feel like anaphylaxis. They're really, really terrible. Cheers. But yeah, I don't know anyone else that has the condition. And for maybe like 20 years, I was misdiagnosed with just like acid reflux. So then I was being mismedicated for like a long time, which was annoying. Yeah, most dark coffees would be bad for me, yeah. And if I'm gonna drink a dark coffee, I would have to add like an abnormal amount of cream to it to like counteract the bitterness, which I don't want. I mean, I love adding like half and half to my coffee, don't get me wrong, but it's not good for me. You know, it's not good to have like to go through a ton of half and half, so I try to buy like morning roast, light roast. Plus the advantage is light roasted coffee is more caffeinated anyway, so if you're drinking coffee for the caffeine, dark roast has less caffeine. So, you know, if you're in it for the caffeine, light roast is the way to go anyway. But if you're in it for your personal preferences, well, I can't speak to that. Drink whatever you want. Yeah, it's personal with the medical condition. I mean, it's not a condition I caused myself, right? Like, it'd be a little bit different if it was like, oh, you know, like I lost, you know, because in my family, I've had relatives lose fingers and toes to diabetes. It's one thing to like ignore your own health to the point where like you're losing limbs, but this isn't something I triggered myself. I was born with it. So it's, you know, sure it's personal, but it's not like shameful. It's not like, oh, look, I ignored my health and now I have no feet. Which happened to a relative of mine. Which is, again, the reason why I don't add sugar to my coffee. Yeah, unusual medical conditions can help other people. You know, it's funny because I've been on like subreddits and stuff like that for my medical condition, and the story is always the same. The story is always like, you know, I went 20 years being misdiagnosed. Doctors all had it wrong. I never felt better with the medicine they gave me, and then I finally saw a specialist, and I figured it out. Now I feel great. And that's like almost everybody's story, because that's just how it goes. It goes basically, it's a rare medical condition that probably like 1 in less than a million have. It's not a particularly serious one, so there's not really a push to fix it, right? Like if it was life-threatening to me, maybe there'd be more of a fix. But the only life-threatening part of it is if you trigger it a lot, you raise your chance for esophageal cancer. And that's I mean, that's obviously bad, but it's not like anaphylaxis, which just can kill you where you stand. So, a bit different. Yeah, I'm definitely, I have a sweet tooth as well. So I have to fight the urge to feed the sweet tooth, you know? I mean, it's a little bit more than an inconvenience, because there's other triggers. Like for me, and this isn't true for everybody, but for me, I can't eat first thing in the morning. Like I can't eat within a few hours of waking up, or it will trigger it. So it's not even just about the type of foods, it's also time of day. So like right before I sleep or right after I wake up, within like a 2-hour window. So basically, I don't eat breakfast. I can't. There isn't a breakfast that I'd be able to eat without feeling terrible. So I just don't. I skip breakfast altogether. And that's true of a lot of other people with the condition. Just the way it is. Yep. I don't eat breakfast, and I don't eat right before bed, and I have to be careful what I eat. A lot of people with my condition end up being mostly vegetarian because meats and fried foods also tends to be a big trigger. I've been a vegetarian for most of my life. But I'm curious, actually. I wonder if, like, not to compare myself to Hitler, but I wonder if, like, Hitler had it. Because I know, famously, Hitler couldn't couldn't manage to eat meat, like it made him feel ill. It's possible that he was, I haven't looked into it, but it's possible that he was an undiagnosed eosinophilic like myself, which is why he just never ate meat, because he would feel terrible afterwards. But I think he probably more had like Crohn's or some IBS or something like that. I don't know. I could probably Google it. I'm sure people know, but I haven't bothered. Well, we have all of the campfires, and then I have quite a lot of wood, so I think tomorrow I'm going to attempt the trek out. I might take out some of the spare gasoline that I have, and replace it with some twigs and stuff like that. But then I'm also going to need a source, an ignition source. I'm going to need more matches, more lighters. I'll probably have a lot to burn out there, just like zombie clothing and things like that. You remember being hyped about the game years ago, but you lost interest due to the slow pace of development. It is still slow. How much is there in the game to actually do compared to 7 Days to Die or Cataclysm? So I haven't played a lot of Cataclysm, but I have played a ton of 7 Days to Die. There is a lot to do. There's also a lot of mods. So one could argue that once you survive your first winter, you're sort of done. But I would say, here, let me see. I have about 200 hours in the game so far, and I've never made it through my first winter. This is as long as I've ever made it, so I would say that even conservatively, this game in the current state of development has hundreds of hours of stuff to do, which is pretty good. I'd like to think it's pretty good. But the pace of the development here is ridiculously slow. So you're absolutely right to hold off if that concerns you, and don't buy it until it has the features that you're looking for. But there's also a ton of mods. So yes, update the current project. Thank you. Prep a mall burn. More or less what I'm doing. So for me, I didn't think I was going to return to this game until NPCs were in, because I've owned this game since probably around 2000, I don't know, 13 or something like that as well. I wasn't that early, maybe like 2016. And I was really, really, really eager to having NPCs in it, because I thought that would be really, really cool to manage NPCs and the, you know, interpersonal relationships and behaviors and interactions and all the things that come with having NPCs in the game. And, well, 6 years later, it still doesn't have NPCs. So, but I would say that this current beta has a lot of really cool stuff. So even though it doesn't have all those NPCs that I'd be looking for, it has a lot of other stuff that I think makes up for it. But you can always read the patch notes yourself, I suppose. Dreams about NPCs. So there are some mods that add NPCs. I personally have not logged any time playing them, but I've heard that they are particularly good and radically change the game for the better. So if you are dreaming on NPCs, you can check out those mods. And maybe sometime in the future, I'll do a Zomboid series with those NPC mods enabled. I don't have any plans to return to this after this one ends, but you never know. So I think tomorrow morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit more forestry. I'm going to cut down a few more trees and load up those logs and twigs into the car, and then head on over. How'd the outpost go? The car will be the outpost. I will be doing a sort of a minimum outpost build so that I don't take too much of my own time. Let's go ahead and prep everything else. So I'm going to take a few lighters. I'm going to want them. I'm going to take more cigarettes because I'm kind of low. I will obviously need food to go with me. You know, food that I can eat while I'm out there. Don't I have a light here? What happened to the light? I think all my light bulbs are burning out, just because they do burn out over time. Here's a bunch of tree branches. I'm trying to think of what else I'm gonna need. But I'll bring these tree branches with me. I didn't realize the studio was robbed and the data was stolen. It does seem crazy to me that you wouldn't have some sort of, like, cloud-based... Like, even as a YouTuber, I back up a lot of my saves on the cloud so that, you know, I can't lose it forever. So it honestly seems nutty to me that a studio that's their livelihood wouldn't do that, but, you know, whatever. I'm not here to judge them. Yeah, for me, I keep 2 physical backups and cloud backups, so that there really isn't a possibility for me to lose a lot. Because I've lost a lot. I've actually done video game development in my free time, just like a garage developer. I never released what I worked on, but I lost maybe like a month of that project because I had 2 drives die on me at the same time, and it was so discouraging that I never really returned back to the project. Because I lost probably more than a month. I probably lost like 2 months worth of work. Learning the hard way. Yep. It was an ouch. There's rotten mayo in the fridge. Don't eat it accidentally. Huh, I won't. I'm doing my backups here, so I'll be... Yep, there we go. Done. You know, I'm going to read a little bit before I go to sleep because I don't want to wake up at like 4 in the morning. And didn't I just smoke a cigarette? They only lost about 2 months of dead work. I know how that feels then. I know exactly how that feels. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is pretty discouraging when you're working on something and it's your livelihood. Studios are afraid of leaks? Yeah, I suppose. But it's not that hard. Actually, I think that was true of a Pixar movie. I think it was like Toy Story or something like that, where one of the animators had a copy of the renderings on their local computer, and like for some reason or another the entire studio lost everything, and the only reason the whole movie was salvaged was that one of the animators had a backup at their home. I think it was Toy Story. If it wasn't Toy Story, it was something like that. But that is crazy. Actually, I worked at one point for a hazardous waste material company that did like hazmat cleanup and stuff like that, and we offered like ways to do this sort of paperwork digitally, and to some of our customers we offered sort of backups of their systems. And one of our customers at one point had an office fire where their data cabinet overheated or something. It had some sort of electrical short, and their entire everything got set on fire. They lost everything. And what ended up happening was we actually had just run a full backup of their entire computer systems the night before by chance. We did like weekly backups for them. So they called us. This happened like over a weekend, and they called us on like a Monday, and they're like, we can't be a customer anymore because we've lost everything. We have nothing. And then me and one of the other developers that also doubled as like IT for the company, because the company normally outsourced their IT, but the company we outsourced our IT to sucked, and they were so slow that they just had like a fifth of my time doing IT anyway. And we basically called them back, and we're like, we have everything, like all of your data, because you paid us to do that, And they were so floored that we had just coincidentally backed up all of their records on all of their customers like the night before, that we kept their entire, you know, it was like a 20-person company in business. It was just such sheer luck. We're like, yeah, you should have more cloud backups. I mean, I know you pay us, but, you know, you shouldn't be that risky. But they were pleasantly surprised. Yeah, keep it in a bit different building is really the key there. Don't have it on site. Now, of course, their facility burned down, but insurance didn't cover that. Insurance doesn't get your data back, though. That's not how that works. Dang it, give me twigs. So I'm just filling up the remainder of my inventory with twigs. If there's anything else that you think I should bring with me that I've overlooked or overthought, besides more food and water, let me know. Smoke while reading? I would love to be able to smoke while reading in this game. And smoke while doing anything else, because honestly, most people in real life just let the cigarette hang out of their mouth. Especially back here in 1993, right? So I'd be down to be able to smoke while multitasking whatever I wanted. Well, my character's lungs are on fire. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna whip up some extra food, fill my belly with good stew or something like that, and then head on out to the mall with my fossil oil truck. Now we do have a cab out there that can be my getaway car, and then we also have the blue, whatever car that was, that can also be a getaway car. And I can also hotwire just about anything out there and fill it with gas, because most vehicles, even if they're in bad shape, will still run. Can I add more logs to the second seat? I can only add 2 pounds of stuff, because the second seat is 18 out of 20. So I can put 2 of these branches in. And that's it. What I will do is I will, I'm going to switch out my wood axe for a hand axe, because it's lighter. And bring it just in case I need more kindling or something like that. Hi, Tusk. What's up, girl? Oh, come over here. Tusky. Tusky. There you go. Good girl. Alright, let's add a lot of game. I want this stew to be ridiculously satiating. It will be boring because it will have 3 meats in it. Maybe. But I don't care. Potato and rabbit only. We'll add some carrots. Alright, so this is 72 hungry. Yeah, that should be good. I still do have eggs, but... Nope, I just put rabbit in the cabinet. Let's not do that. It'll have some pretty gross consequences. Yeah, I still have some eggs, but... in a stew, that'd just be weird. Saving eggs for winter? Yeah, or something, I don't know. Stir fries? Whatever, I'm not sure. Alright, so unequipped, these hand axes are... You know, they're not that much lighter. They're only 1 pound lighter than the wood axe, but I'll go wood axe anyway. I can always put this hand axe in the glove box with a meat cleaver. And then... I'm trying to think of other spare weapons. I do want a brand new lead pipe. So that's a broken one. Come on, I know I have one. Oh, here they are. No, they're all broken. Ugh. I've been bad to my tools. I have a torch on me at all times. That is my everyday carry. All right, whatever. I'll bring this somewhat beat up lead pipe. Oh, here it is. There we go. Almost cooked. There isn't a pet Yoda? Wait, really? Oh, there isn't a pet Tusk. There is a pet Yoda. Oh, you're so cute. Does kisses cost extra? No. Hi, girl. I like when she hangs out with me. My weight is 83 kilos, which is pretty good. We are full to bursting. It's 8 in the morning. JD, thanks for the bits. Rotten mayonnaise, rotten uncooked bait fish. Yeah, I have a lot of rotted stuff. I think what I'll do is just... I'm gonna bring some cabbage with me. Some fresh cabbage and fresh carrots. So I have food, and let's bring the tomatoes and the radishes as well. I'll just eat fresh. And no, I'm not sponsored by, Subway. Alright, we're good. Unless you can think of anything I missed, I think we're all set to do the burn. So let me update that project. Go burn at the mall. If you don't know what burn means, I guess that's kind of confusing. But I only have so much real estate in the thing here. Eat flesh. Yeah, that is Subway, right? I don't need a notebook. I'm actually going to keep the hand axe on me because everything in this vehicle is liable to get disappeared. So I don't want to put things in the glove box and then only to throw it out. But the hand axe and the meat cleaver so that I can make spears if I need to make spears. Oh, Jesus. Hi, guy. Do you have a... You know what? Hold on. He might have a bulletproof vest on, and that would be worth my time to stop. You do have a bulletproof vest, and it is in mint condition. Alright, I stripped it off his body, and I'm going to leave it there for later. Because bulletproof vests can't be repaired because they're not made of leather or cloth or whatever. So if you ever get them torn up... Oh, wait, hold on. My bulletproof vest has a hole in the upper torso. Let's switch to his. So as you can see here, I have no ability to repair it. Glad I noticed that on my vest. Bye-bye vest, old vest. Hello, new vest. All right. Ooh, look at that. I am 100% scratch-proof of upper torso, lower torso. I cannot be scratched. And then I have very, very, very high resistance to the forearm and upper arm from scratch. I did have a close call. That's actually when I got my infected wound. It went through my leather jacket. I didn't realize it went through other stuff. Which means I should probably inspect my clothing here. I think it stopped at the bulletproof vest. And yeah, I shouldn't be driving and inspecting my clothing, but yeah, whatever. I know yeah, I'm fine. My boots need replacing soon, but I don't have any other holes. But yeah, I did indeed have a very close call. I had a lot of close calls last stream. Are there infection rates for bloody clothes? I don't know. I know that if you're dirty and if you get a wound when you're really dirty, you do have a increased chance of infection. So staying clean and using, you know, alcohol and stuff like that to clean wounds is the way to go if you want to avoid infection. But I don't have the rates memorized myself, and I don't even think you'll be able to find them on the PZ wiki because I think it's difficulty dependent. Get out of the road. Or out of the rail. So 0% chance for infection if you're nude. No, your character can actually be dirty too. When did the chest bite occur? Last stream when I was tingling with zombies trying to set fires and stuff. I got a upper torso scratch that got a regular infection, but didn't. I'm already recovered. Since this car, I don't really need to be that careful with this car because it's not really... I don't intend to keep it as a vehicle, right? It's going to be donated to the fire god, so... It's probably in my best benefit to actually aim for the zombies, but I don't want it to totally fall apart. Do you think we should run a prediction on the mall burn? I don't know what we'd predict. Whether I die or not, I guess. That's pretty grim. Hi, other car. Driving without headlights suck. Yes. What's the kill count? So the kill count doesn't count vehicle or fire kills, but it would be at 1835. We're just a few. We're almost we're in the Wild West age of prediction on how many zombies die. There's no way for me to count that though. Predictions can only be like a yes no type thing. There's only like two sides of it, so and there's no way. I would need to add mods to be able to actually count how many zombies get killed from the fire, and I don't have mods to count that, so that there's no way to confirm. Predict if it's going to be sweet or not. Hello, cop car. The problem is, even with screenshots accounting every, they turn to ash, as you can see. So hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of zombies died here, but there's no way for me to know how many because they just turned to ash. I am the one true ash. All right, let's do a quick prediction. There it is. It's grim, but it's honest. Will I survive it? So here's my getaway car. Now, I definitely want to be as close to the mall as possible. So I draw in all the mall zombies. So what I'm going to do now is just Carmageddon up a few of the ones in the parking lot here, so that I can set up my trap without interruption. I should build up a little bit more speed because these things are just surviving. So there's a lot more in this parking lot than I remember there to be. It might be difficult for me to set this up close to the mall, unless I can ditch zombies. Because this parking lot is massive, as you can tell. It's absolute behemoth. So here's the mall itself. This would be a good place to set it up. Then, of course, I have to consider, where am I going to hide? Because it's not just about setting it up. It's about, you know, being close by so that the burn works. But, I'll figure that out. We'll hide in another car. Come on, faster. Hiding in the flaming car? I don't think that's a wise idea. Oh, you know what? I didn't also listen to the weather report. I should have probably done that. And there's still time to do it. Because that might delay this burn. If it's going to be like, downpour, downpour, downpour. You know, I wouldn't. How many Zeds are alive in the mall? Hundreds? Thousands? I honestly don't even know. More than I'd be able to kill with a lead pipe. Which would be the honest answer. Oops. Now I'm more or less getting left alone. There's only like 2 zombies nearby, which makes this kind of easy. And I've set up a tighter circle than last time, so I'm going to have some spare campfires. We've gotten a lot closer than before, because prior, this whole parking lot was completely swarming. So now I'm able to get way closer than before, which is great. I am just... This is the mall proper. That's the entry of the mall, so I am right up against the entry of the mall. I'm close enough to the mall that I should be able to kill... I should be able to kill all the zombies that are inside the mall, or at least the ones that can break out easily. Because I'm just adjacent. Alright. Grab one. On stack. Add log. I'll read the other message. Okay, suggest setting up the campfires with a getaway vehicle nearby and driving around to pole. Yes, I will be doing something like that. Polling towards this car. Yeah, so that is indeed my plan, is to sort of round up a lot of the zombies in the area with a secondary vehicle and then driving off to a safe location like I did before, but not getting too far from this car so that this one the fire never goes out. Is there access to the mall from inside the mall to the roof? Not that I know of, but you can check on the map if you'd like. Because the map would tell you. Now, any of the vehicles around me could be the getaway vehicles. I have gasoline on me, so they just have to be a vehicle in relatively okay condition, and I'd be able to use it as a getaway. Oh, don't add the tree branch. Where did all my logs go? On stack. Silly Billy. Now, I might want one of these campfires, like maybe the one near the trunk, with a lot more fuel than the other ones, so that even when all of them go out, there's still one that's still lit, to keep this trap hot for longer, in case it's needed. Because even with one campfire, as long as it's lighting other zombies on fire, then the fire will spread. Use the siren car to pull so it doesn't die like last time. Just drive and park and then switch vehicles. Yeah, I could do that. I'm trying to think of, like, maybe the best approach. I haven't really, thought that over all that well. Yeah, it only died before because I drove away super far, because I kind of got pinned in and had to bail. Distant bail. Weather seems cloudy. I'll turn on my my radio and see about the weather before I light everything up. I could do that now. Thanks for the bits. And Pet Yoda? Sure. Alright, device options. Volume. Okay, turn on. Volume down. Add preset. Weather. And it plays, what, top of the hour? Come on. Save. Tune in. So in 20 minutes it should play weather. 20 in-game minutes, which is not very long. There is roof access, but from the inside, so that doesn't help me at all. Okay, so this is a 16-hour fire. And most of the other fires are short time. Now, what do we got here? 4 hours. Blackout. Clear skies, cloudy spells. Yeah, just cloudy, it seems. So we're good. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to poll for tactics. So we don't need to speculate or discuss. I'll just ask. Whether I drive around on the fossil rounding them up, or leave the fossil here with the engine running, ready to be, you know, sirened and all, and drive around in a different vehicle honking and the like. Both are fine solutions. All right, 12 hours, 8. We'll try to put 12 hours on all fires. I don't think I really need to pull zombies closer. Because, yeah, the mall is right here. You're not wrong about that. And this is parked sort of centrally, so that I should pull zombies from everywhere around me. Like all of the nearby stores, because I'm sort of right smack dab in the center. Open the doors on them all? They'll bash through them within minutes. That's not going to be an issue at all. They will get through those doors in a blink. You think the mall is big enough that I won't be able to get them from the far side? If it's not, we can always do another burn. But the other thing to consider is if I am to round them up on the far side, there's going to be enough physical barriers blocking them from being able to get to me that even if I'm driving around honking, I'm not going to be able to drive around honking long enough to piss off zombies significantly enough for them to break out from the far side. So the only way to predictably get the zombies from the far side is to do another burn on the far side. Because if they're stuck inside, let's say they're stuck inside a store, me honking for 20 seconds isn't going to be enough of an encouragement for them to bust through and get out, right? All right, let's check all these. So I think we're on 12 hours for all these fires now. Or roughly 12 hours. And this one needs more fuel. Okay, so that's all the fuel I have. Let me pull. So for the tactics, what should my tactic be? Use the fossil as bait and hide nearby, or drive around with the taxi, rounding up a horde, which I spelled horde wrong. So let me fix that so I'm not embarrassing myself. Or then drive around Foss Oil, building up horde and ditching car in fire. So there's some typos there, but that's basically the three options that I see. I can either just set the trap on fire, turn on the sirens, and hide in a nearby vehicle that I've already prepped for escape. Like, I'll just take one of the vehicles that are in good condition, fuel it up, and get ready to go. I can drive around a secondary vehicle, rounding up zombies and luring them to the fossil oil. Or I could drive the fossil around with the sirens on and do it that way. So there's a few different options here. But before I do any of that, I will save first, yes. And then I will also grab everything out of this because I want it. Right, Tusky? Look at her. She's so cute. She's so cute. Okay, so I have all the stuff out of the trunk here. And we're just about ready. All right, so let's get a car here that looks in good condition. Hey, JD, thanks for all the gifted subs. What I'm actually going to do first is kill this group that's right over here, which is a little close for comfort. Yeah, thanks, JD. Always a pleasure having you tune in. Ooh, my character's already getting tired. I don't like that. It may be worth lighting this up tomorrow. And hoping for good weather tomorrow as well. Because if I'm already tired, that's not a good condition to be in to start this up. I know I could just chew the vitamins. And maybe I'll take some of these vitamins now. To ward away the fatigue. Tusky, you really leaving? As soon as I call you cute for laying here with me? Rude. So rude. Where's that fire truck? Is that over this way? It's parking lot is too big. I have no idea where the fire truck is. Yeah, I'm setting up an escape vehicle. Oh, here's my... Oh, yeah. All right, here's my mint vehicle here. I think I left running. Yep, it's still running. And that's why as you can see, the running engine attracted a few zombies, but it's not very loud. Whoa, I could fit? Okay, I didn't park that right then. Also, let's turn off this radio. Device options, radio off. Okay, good. It's blocked now. All right, taking a look at what you voted on. Use the fossil oil as bait. Hide nearby. Is going to be the solution here. That's that works for me. So what I'm going to do is actually... come on now. Didn't I turn off the radio? What are you buzzing about? I turned you off. Hang on. What's going on here? I think it's just a bug. Just the end of the radio playing. All right, device options. Yeah, all right, the radio's off. All right, so I'm gonna set this off tomorrow morning, hoping that, well, here, let me have you vote. Should I set the trap off now or tomorrow? Now? Tomorrow. Again, more user input. So the advantage of tomorrow is that I would be well rested and ready to fight and defend myself. The advantage of now is I know the weather's going to be good, and either or works for me. I don't care what you vote on. But I might need to strip these zombies for the ability to set fires, because here I don't have a lot of ways to set the fires. So let me grab some of their clothing. Ooh, good, some gunfire. Nothing like a little gunfire to kick us off. Alright, tomorrow seems to be the popular choice. That's fine. Is there anything in my... Hey, Ascendancy! Welcome. How was playing, I'm assuming, Dota? Yep. Welcome, Raiders. We are right now voting on when I set off a trap. So let me fill you in real quick. Last stream, I had spent a considerable amount of time preparing a trap to clear the mall, and then we got to the mall and there were still yet more zombies. So what we're doing is we're setting up a trap, and the way it works is the sirens of this car will be turned on, and it will lure zombies to the car. And then, as you can see, the car is surrounded by campfires. We're going to be lighting the campfires on fire so that all the zombies that come to investigate the sirened car get lit on fire by the campfires. And right now we're just voting on when I set all this on in motion, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. The advantage of tonight being we know that the weather, I just listened to the weather report and it's not supposed to rain. The advantage of tomorrow is that I'll be well rested and able to fight. So right now we're just voting on those two things. And welcome to the stream. And thanks for the raid. As always, you raid me more often than anyone else, so there's only but a salute. Get my s'mores ready? Yeah, this is gonna be a big burn, I think. This is gonna be another few thousand. Oh, did I place the car jack in the middle of the campfire instead of the trunk? Yes. Yes, I did. Let me fix that. Thank you for watching Project Zomboid Ash Williams, which originally aired live on Twitch. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream, Rhadamant.com, the link will be in the description, is a resource where you can find countdown timers to my streams, a full schedule, and links to Twitch and Discord where you can sign up for announcements and you can follow. Thank you so very much for watching. I'll catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, everybody.